Hey guys, welcome to this month's episode of Mods of the Month. Today we are covering 10 different and highly unique mods ranging from textures to armors to new features and animations. Before this video begins, it would be really appreciated if you guys would drop a comment for the algorithm and perhaps a like. By the way, I would recommend sticking all the way to the end of this episode since there is a really special mod at the end. All of these mods were acquired during the month of June. Without any further ado, we'll get started now. The first mod that we will take a look at is a texture and full weapon overhaul of the iron weapons. This is Iron Weapons Redone, a full overhaul of all the iron weapons in the game. The textures might look a little familiar to some of you because they highly resemble the weapons from Oblivion. It has that more chunky, higher fantasy style of textures and meshes that make it stand out from the original Skyrim style. To me, they look a little less realistic but still look really well made and cool. As I said, they are all just replacements to the original iron weapons, so you won't be able to find these alongside the originals. Now when it comes to the look, like I said, it's very unique. It has this sort of prop look to it, like something you'd see a cosplayer take with them to a festival. Now don't get me wrong, they look amazing and all, but could definitely use some improvements. These textures could be found in all qualities from 1K to 2K to 4K. The weapons of course are the mace, sword, dagger, axe, greatsword, battle axe, and warhammer. All of these weapons look great and really bring me back into that high fantasy vibe. That's it, on to the next mod. The next mod is Frostwood Cabin. This cabin is a small player home in Eastmarch, only a minute or so walk from Windhelm. The house is really cool and reminds me of the Skarl village. It has an assortment of things from a fishing boat on the left side and a smithing station on the right side of the house. The house is very well decorated with many cool things. There is also a guest room when you first enter for your companions to rest their heavy heads after a long day of adventuring. This house looks really cool and I know you guys love the music and the showcasing that I do, so here you go.
These scars long have yearned for your tender caress, to bind our fortunes. Damn what the stars on, rend my heart open, then your love profess, a winding weaving fate to which we both atone. You flee, my dream come the morning, your scent berries tart, lilac sweet, to dream of raven locks and twisted stormy, of violet eyes glistening as you weep.
As you guys can see, the house has many cool features and accessories that make it stand out. It's been a while since we covered a player home mod, so I thought, why not? That's it for this one. On to the next mod. Next up is JS Helm of Yngol, a small texture replacer for the vanilla helmet. The Helm of Yngol, the son of Ysgramor, buried outside of a snowy waste of a stone-walled city Windhelm. This helmet is very important to the culture of the Nords. It has the history of Armour sewed into the seams of a metal tapestry when it was forged. You could call it unique if you aren't into so fancy wordplay. This texture overhaul revamps the vanilla asset and makes it look like it was described in the lore, something very well crafted by the ancient Nords and their magic clevermen bestowed it with unique properties. Brand new meshes and textures make it look insanely good in either 2K or 4K textures, bringing the helmet into a whole new light. It looks great, and when you're playing it looks even better. Make sure to download this mod guys, but that's all onto the next one. We'll go with another small texture overhaul that goes by the name of the Elder Scrolls HD. This adds brand new meshes and textures to arguably the most important part of this game series. This game series was named after these ancient and mysterious scrolls after all. They have magical properties and no one knows who made them. Perhaps it was Lorcan or maybe even Akatosh. These things mean so much to the world of Nirn and the realm of Mundus, so it's important that they look the part. With this mod they have great looking unexplainable contraptions, moving parts adorned with gems and jewels, covered in gold and otherworldly metals, as well as ornate and indescribable words and symbols. This mod really adds to the words, the Elder Scrolls. They perhaps are older than time itself, or maybe they were made made by the gods, the Atada, at the meeting to decide Shaw's fate at the Durrani Tower. A spoke of the wheel, they say. It's very cool, very awesome, and that's all I have to say. On to the next mod. This next mod is the Steel Falcon armor set. A very cool, knight-like medieval European set of female armor, sword, and shield. Now, before I start on its features, I want to give my own opinion and say that this is one of the best pieces of armor I've seen in a while. I've been playing The Witcher 3 recently, and I've noticed it draws some similarities to its world. It reminds me of the winged hussars of Poland and the oriental falcon-like armor. Now, if we take an actual look at the armor, we can see its masterful craftsmanship. The red decorated helm decoration, as well as the cape and the skirt, add some flair and taste. The armor is fully covered, which is very different to the other female armors we see on the Nexus, which gives this a unique taste. The armor is made up of the gauntlets, armor, boots, helmet, and of course, the cape. You can find this armor at the Lord's Stone. This mod is an incredible addition to the armors of Skyrim and looks amazing. Now, onto the next mod. The next mod I want to cover is actually a very great mod, and I think most of us have heard of the Paarthurnax dilemma. You know, the mod that gives a Dragonborn more freedom of choice when it comes to deciding Paarthurnax's fate? Well, this mod that I'm about to talk about really helps to add to the original concept. This is the Paarthurnax Quest expansion. This mod is essentially the Paarthurnax dilemma, but it actually has voices for Delphine and Esbern. This mod adds over 60 lines of dialogue to the game and adds essential reasons to why both sides, being the Blades and the Greybeards, have their ideologies. The Blades actually have a point now. Paarthurnax is a very big liability when you think about it. Maybe he will come back after the Dragonborn is gone and try to take over Tamriel, or maybe he won't. But even if he does, the Dragonborn should be able to make that decision since the Blades serve the Dragonborn. I feel in the vanilla game, the fact that the Dragonborn can't decide over the Blades is very questionable. If it were a Septim Emperor, I doubt the Blades would have any quarrel over listening to their master. If I say Paarthurnax should live, then he'll live. If not, then it will be my choice to kill him. In conclusion, it's a really great mod that enhances the immersion and story to the game. Next mod. This is Headhunter, Bounties Redone, a total rework of the Bounties system in the game. In the vanilla game, it was as if the Jarl or Housecarl had seer-like knowledge and would take your word for killing the bandit or giant without any evidence. Quite unimmersive if you ask me, but one of the many new features when it comes to Headhunter is the fact that you have to bring proof to whoever gave you the quest. In my example, I went to kill a giant, and in order to prove that I did so, I had to cut off its head and bring it to Avenici. Then I would finally be rewarded with the gold I was promised. If you guys are also wondering, this mod is fully compatible with the notice board and missives and other mods like that. And if you are wondering, the giant in my example will lose its head on its model. It'd be quite unimmersive if in fact the model was still completely the same. You can also, after some time of fighting, talk to the giant and forfeit the quest. I didn't get any footage of that unfortunately though, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it or check out the mod page for yourself. I won't tell you anything else about the mod since it is really interesting and makes bounty hunting a lot more fun. Just go check it out after the video is done since I really enjoy it and I think you will too. We're going to be moving on to the next mod now. The next mod is a brand new weapon mod that I really like. This is CL's Grey Warden sword. This sword is extremely cool looking and gives me some Alien vibes, even though it is from a Dragon Age universe. This sword is like an elven-like sword with some cool looking adornments and features. I won't bore you too long, so I'll show you guys a quick showcase of the sword. As you guys can see, the sword looks great and it is worthy of a place on this list. So let's move on to the next mod. The next mod on this list is Conditional Expressions. Tired of seeing your character look the same in every single place? Well, fret not, modding brethren. With this mod, your character has a variety of new subtle face expressions for multiple idols or purposes to enhance the immersion of our dear game Skyrim. It has a configurable MCM and can be changed to suit your needs no matter the time. This mod consists of multiple random idols that change your face to suit the conditions, hence the name. When your character is eating, their mouth will open and chew the food. When sneaking, your character will squint their eyes and slightly purse their lips. When drunk, your character will look a little happier, and this will last for a few hours. Very similar to how your character looks when high, either off skooma or potions, except when high, your character will look extremely high and look very happy. If you happen to lose their clothes, they will look scared and embarrassed, which is very immersive, since I would assume if most of us lost our clothes, we would have the same expression as them. This is an amazing immersion adding mod that bolsters the game's animation set and is definitely a must download. It just really adds the immersion to the game that we've been looking for such a long time with our characters' facial expressions, depending as well on the condition like I said before, because it's very needed in a world like Skyrim where multiple things can be happening at once and your character needs to portray them through their facial expressions. That's it, on to the next mod. The last mod on this list is arguably one of the most game-changing mods in the last couple of years of animation and movements in the entire game. By the way, these animations use either Nemesis or FNIS, so whatever you prefer is up to you. Now this mod uses another mod that controls walk speed, and different animations will occur depending on the speed you scroll to. This can be extremely useful and makes the animations variants extremely dynamic. I forgot to mention the name of this mod, guys. It is UNDERDOG animations. Let's continue. There are multiple animations while walking and running that I'll show you now. There is a walk which is slow and the same speed as when holding shift. Then there is a run which can be changed to a slow jog to an almost sprint depending on how much you scroll. Then there is the sprint, a normal sprinting pace that cannot be changed using the scroll wheel. There is also a high stamina sprint for characters that have an extremely high stamina. When stamina is below 30%, an animation occurs that is a tired run, which is a lazy, out of breath looking run animation. There are also multiple injured idols depending on the percentage of damage taken. I'll showcase them now in order from least damage to most. Next is the sneak idols and walks. The ninja idols that are showcased now occur when you are part of the Dark Brotherhood or have the silent perk. It's a stretch kind of thing as well as looking around. There are also two regular sneak idols that have a chance of occurring between the two but are showcased now. When the speed is at 20% or lower, there is a crawl animation that occurs, which in my opinion is hands down the coolest looking animation in this mod. As you go up in speed, multiple animations occur, which start with standing up and crouching. It eventually leads to the sneak walk, which is very similar to the ninja idols that we saw earlier. Next is the falling animations, which are only two, those being the regular jump fall animation and the falling animation which occurs when having the cushion perk. It's more like a skydiving, free falling kind of animation and looks really cool. There are also a few new animations, one of those being the dive, which occurs when diving into water. All these animations look amazing, and I cannot say it enough that this mod is a new revolutionary mod that we haven't seen in some time. Well, that concludes this Mods of the Month video, guys. I dearly appreciate it. If you guys could leave a comment and like if you enjoyed the video, I would gladly appreciate it. And if you want to see more content like this more often, then remember to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. I will see you all later.